The hunter who sets traps for others must watch his own footsteps. A proverb that warns how attempts to ensnare rivals can backfire, leaving the schemer exposed in the process. This insight feels especially relevant today as a federal high court in Abuja adjourns a suit seeking to deregister the African Democratic Congress and 4 other political parties, a move many interpret as a strategic APC effort to dismantle opposition platforms like the ADC, which has become a haven for figures such as Peter Obi ahead of the 2027 elections. This na confirm street news. Now wetin we hear with the report, but be sure say na confirm. Abeg, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop a comment to help us grow and bring you undiluted news. The hearing took place on February 17, 2026, before Justice Iyang Idem Ekwo at the Federal High Court in Abuja. The suit filed by the National Forum of Former Legislators aims to compel the Independent National Electoral Commission to deregister the African Democratic Congress, Action Alliance, Zenith Labour Party, Action People's Party, and African Action Congress for allegedly failing to meet constitutional requirements under Section 225A, such as adequate electoral performance and national spread. Due to the judge's absence from the bench, the matter was adjourned to February 24, 2026 for further proceedings. This delay keeps the parties in a state of uncertainty, unable to confidently engage in key activities like primaries or candidate nominations until the court decides their fate. If this political maneuvering and its potential to reshape Nigeria's electoral landscape has you pondering the future of multi-party democracy in our country, I'd encourage you to like this video, drop a comment with your take on whether this suit is a cleanup or a crackdown, and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement helps us continue unpacking these stories that could define the 2027 polls. To grasp why this adjournment and the suit itself matter so much, we need to delve into the broader context of party regulation and opposition dynamics in Nigeria. The 1999 Constitution, as amended, empowers INEC to deregister parties that do not demonstrate a national character through membership distribution across states or electoral success, such as winning seats in the national or state assemblies. This provision has been enforced before. In 2020, INEC deregistered 74 parties for similar failures, reducing the total from over 90 to 18. The current suit targets 5 of the surviving smaller parties which have struggled to secure significant wins but have served as vehicles for alternative voices. The African Democratic Congress, founded in 2005, has historically been a minor player, but gained prominence recently with high-profile defectors. Peter Obi, the Labour Party's 2023 presidential candidate, who garnered massive support in the southeast and urban centers, defected to the ADC amid internal Labour Party disputes, positioning it as a potential big tent opposition platform. Similarly, the other parties, Action Alliance, Zenith Labour Party, Action People's Party, and African Action Congress, have attracted activists and challengers like Omoyele Sowore, offering options beyond the dominant APC and PDP. Critics argue that the suit, brought by a forum of former legislators with perceived APC ties, is not about constitutional housekeeping, but a calculated APC move to eliminate these platforms, forcing figures like Obi to scramble for new affiliations and weakening opposition cohesion before 2027. This comes amid broader APC strategies to consolidate power, including recent Electoral Act amendments that some see as favoring incumbents. The key actions in this case reflect a mix of legal procedure and political intent. The plaintiffs, the National Forum of Former Legislators, initiated the suit to enforce deregistration, claiming these parties exist mostly on paper without the required electoral footprint. INEC, as the defendant, is tasked with defending its registration decisions, but has remained silent publicly, awaiting court directives. Justice Ekwo's adjournment due to his absence is a standard procedural step, but it extends the uncertainty for the parties involved. From the opposition side, representatives have decried the suit as targeted harassment, with ADC officials suggesting it's an APC ploy to sideline Peter Obi and prevent a unified challenge in 2027. Obi's obedient movement has been vocal, framing the effort as fear of his growing influence and an attempt to limit voter choice. The APC, while not directly involved, has benefited from narratives that portray smaller parties as mushroom entities cluttering the ballot, though party spokespeople have not commented on this specific suit.
The implications of this deregistration push are profound and could redefine Nigeria's political terrain. Politically, a successful outcome would reduce the number of registered parties, consolidating power in major players like the APC and PDP, and forcing opposition figures like Peter Obi to negotiate mergers or join established parties, potentially diluting their independent appeal. This could limit electoral competition, making it harder for new voices to emerge and reducing the diversity of platforms available to voters. For the ADC, deregistration would be a devastating blow, scattering its members and disrupting plans for primaries and coalitions aimed at challenging the APC in 2027. Socially, the suit risks exacerbating regional tensions, particularly in the southeast, where Obi draws strong support. If seen as an APC attack on opposition, it could deepen feelings of marginalization and fuel unrest or boycotts. Economically, political instability from such moves can deter investment as businesses seek predictable environments. Prolonged legal battles also drain public resources from INEC and the courts. On the security front, a perceived crackdown on opposition could heighten risks in volatile areas where electoral disputes have historically sparked violence, undermining national stability. Public reaction has been intense and largely critical, with many viewing the suit as a thinly veiled APC strategy to neutralize threats like Peter Obi. In the southeast and among obedient supporters, social media has exploded with accusations of desperate power grabs, with comments like APC is afraid of fair competition dominating discussions. Opposition figures have rallied, calling the move an assault on democracy and urging INEC to resist pressure. Some former legislators and civil society groups have questioned the forum's motives, suggesting it's a proxy for APC interests to shrink the field. On the opposing side, APC loyalists defend the suit as enforcing constitutional standards, arguing that non-performing parties confuse voters and waste resources. Legal experts provide balance, noting that while deregistration is legal, the timing raises suspicions of political manning. Overall, the adjournment has amplified debates, with calls for judicial independence growing louder. Looking ahead, the February 24 hearing will be decisive. If the court rules for deregistration, it could force the ADC and others to dissolve or appeal, scattering figures like Peter Obi and weakening opposition momentum for 2027. Appeals to higher courts might delay finality until close to the elections, creating uncertainty that benefits incumbents. For the APC, success would streamline the ballot, reducing vote splitting among challengers and consolidating their base. However, it risks backlash, galvanizing anti-APC sentiment and pushing Obi towards stronger alliances with parties like the PDP or Labour, potentially creating a more unified front. If the suit fails, it could embolden smaller parties, validating their role in pluralism and embarrassing the plaintiffs. INEC's stance in court will be scrutinized for independence. Broader reforms such as revising deregistration criteria or protecting party autonomy could emerge if public outcry frames this as undemocratic. As Nigeria heads towards 2027, this case could set precedents for electoral competition, influencing voter turnout, party strategies, and national unity in a deeply divided landscape. As we conclude this in-depth exploration of a court case that could dramatically alter Nigeria's political map, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. Do you think this suit is a genuine effort to enforce the Constitution or an APC tactic to sideline opposition like Peter Obi? If this narrative has provided clarity on the stakes, like the video, subscribe for more investigative stories on the forces shaping our elections, and turn on notifications to catch every update. Your voice and support keep these conversations vital and accountable.